Day 1455 Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Today is the 100th yard site of Rabbi Avraham Kaplan. That's how Susiyogan Elenu. It's over my left shoulder there, top of Rabbi Ari Levin. And the Neshama Aliyah, and the Levin should be a schus for his Neshama, because much of what I do in this world is informed by the memory of Rabbi Avraham. Not for now, why? Today we're doing Arukh HaShulchan, you're there, Simon, Reish, Ayin Reish, Sif Test to Yudalet. Test, we're talking about, see if I said in the expanded sense. Test, Lashon HaRosh, Torah Mashal Heged Me'akain, but Lashon Torah is Mashal explicitly that it's an expanded mitzvah. The compares Harishan B'Lamar the Ina Yeshka Mitzvah Mishnah B'Gemara. It was going like the first interpretation that the not right to exemplary right Sefer Torah in our day and age, but just saying there's also mitzvah to write other stuff. So then, how do they remember the Ina Yeshka Mitzvah Mishnah? So there's also mitzvah Mishnah today. Furthermore, so the main purpose is to learn in that book, which we don't do in Sefer Torah today. They write, these are the Svarim persons required to write. They are the mitzvah. For low Sefer Torah. But that which it says, and they want that whatever's left over to from your forefathers is not effective as mitzvah. It's a big question, because obviously it's not going to work. That's not the mitzvah. But if we infer this carefully, it won't be a question. It's explicit. The purpose of mitzvah is to learn. You'll see, like it says, lamda, v'gomer. Learn it. The Torah decreed you have to write what what you need to learn. Every day you have to acquire for yourself a Mishnah and Gemara. Good. We don't need this approach either. The BMS then bring down the statement that even though his forefathers left him Sefer Torah, he has to write his own. In shop, in bracket says, Bach a difficult, why don't bring down? So I think they have a different interpretation. So the Sanhedrin here says, it says, I'm a rabba, Rabba said, Alpha, I'm a rabba, Alpha, Pishin, Yichu, Chule, Ase, Abai, Vakaisa, Sefer Torah, Lishmo. By side says, Red Sefer Torah is on the him, Shalislam, Bishal Achem, should get his, take his adorn himself with that of others. Melech in Hedioslo. It sounds like only a king has to write his own Sefer Torah, not a commoner. Let's say the Shtei Torahs. No, it's about the two Torahs. Ein Sham. It's not understood. Tima Kushya who rak l'mashal eno tzarich b'shel aviv. The question is only concerning that which is only with that which you're not yotzi with your father's Sefer Torah. My comment is let's do Shtei Torahs. Let's answer two Torahs. Ma'avakach Shtei Torahs b'melech Torah achas b'hediot. Two Torahs by king, like one. That's the one Sefer Torah by hediot. So how does that resolve the question? Bakati masha melech in hediot lo. Sounds like only a king has to write his own Sefer Torah, not a commoner. Nearly that by Shnei Kushas Makshus. So by asking two questions. The by Mazulas main Mazul the Rabbah. Besides the same Rabbah, lo matzim b'shas shu chiyuv kol echad ve'echad Sefer Torah. Ever find in the Shas elsewhere that it's a chiyuv in every individual to write a Sefer Torah. The Achnim Menachos she'evenu. Okay, Sefer Torah Meshukah Asavei it's called mitzvah. That what you said that Gemara Menachos it says that this Gemara about which you just learned about the Shlach of the time which you Rabbi Abayis in Sanhedrin. The other Gemara is in Menachos. And that's when Menachos is going to tell you about Lokeh Sefer Torah Meshukah have a chaytet mitzvah. Kas Lokilu Kibler Mehar Sinai. That's lo mevur sham sheyesh chiyuk bazeh sheschar. Interestingly, says that says you shouldn't grab the mitzvah, and if you write yourself even one letter, as if you were in Mekabel Sinai, it's not saying it's an obligation, but you get rewarded. Ikar mitzvah mikra de batokis ulachem. Because the main mitzvah is from Matokis Lachem, and that's not brought down there. It's not brought down Menachos, that person. So Abai is asking two questions. Melech in Hediot. Since only a king is by his own safe target, it's act of Hachna, of submitting himself to a higher authority. Of the law, Hediot, not a commoner. Koshkin Shed Yotzi Lachem, and therefore, because that's saying the Hediot should certainly be a commoner, should be Yotzi with others. That's what it says. Two Torahs. I could kushya. She ain't a head but to a club is considered Sefer Torah. That's where the primary question I had does not command the rights of the all. Same with Olam had mitzvah. Really, had commoner does have a mitzvah. A command to state Torahs, but a king has a mitzvah to write two Torahs. Well, Zeh that we wrote that we say Kokosa Sefer Torah lishmo, and he writes Sefer Torah for his own self. In other words, the king is supposed to have two. Is to have, even if he has one of his forefathers, he has to write his own. That which Rabbah said, even though your forefathers left it, you have mitzvah write your own. Ifrachim at Brisa. This is a rejection from the Brisa. Only a king cannot to adorn himself with that of which he got from others. Not a commoner. That's why the Rosh doesn't bring it down, because evidently the whole concept of not being able to somebody else is only by a king. A commoner can be able to somebody else. So that's why they don't bring down that idea that you have to write your own Sefer Torah. Yesh personal own Sefer Torah. Yeah, yesh stop. Okay, but in any event, he was kind of dangling. Basically, comes out according to the Russian the Torah. The main mitzvah for his individual is to possess a Sefer Torah and to write or acquire other svarim as well. And all the primary one mitzvah seems to be to acquire the svarim in order to learn. There's a famous Machlekes Acharonim which we have Nosson Adler and others, including the Tzaddik. Nosson Adler, the way the Chazon Sofer held that since he there's no since his memory is good enough that he didn't have to write down his svarim in order to remember his learning, so the issue of still writing Torah Sheba'al Peh still applied to him. Therefore, he only wrote his notes in cipher, and it's kind of like a mnemonic device. But Tzaddik and others, when they get to they come to reject the Nosson Adler, and they say, and after it was allowed to write down Torah Sheba'al Peh, now the mitzvah of Kisul Chemes Tashira Azos, like the Rosh and the Torah, is going on writing Divrei Torah of all sorts. You have Yesh those of them who say who should stop who have a question. Two people Yotze if they're both writing Sefer Torah in partnership. Then you say the abortion Yotze. It's going to be they're not Yotze. First of all, the Kol Mitzvah says Shatzitza Teira, and it's to say the Torah commands. Yeah, Kol Echad Misol Baz on each and every Jew individually. Chazir Torah here Shor V'Shutfus, and Mitzvah Torah allowed you to do in partnership. Like two people sing the same sukkah. Yesh al zed Rosh v'Sukkah. There's a drasha on this in sukkah. It's called Zrach Yisrael B'Shuv V'Sukkos. Furthermore, the Lulav Ksi Lachem. But it says Lachem Tzar Kol Echel Levad Ol Yos Lulav V'Sukkah. Can't have Lulav in Shutfus. Each one has to own it in turn, but they have to own it. Which goes to Rish Perek Lulav Gozel. Lachem see Chisul Lachem here says write for yourselves. Tzar Kol Echel Levad. Each one needs to own on its own. For right, Melch Sanhedrin also evidence goes to Sanhedrin Shevenu, which you build down. Shemak Shara Mishnah the Mel Kaisi was Sefer Torah Shmei Bryce and Shom. Ask the question Rab for the Mishnah, the king writes Sefer Torah for himself, and the Bryce will be no matter the head Yotze B'Shul say a common Yotze in partnership Sefer Torah. Lema will say the Zeh Hafresh Ben Melech L'Hedyon. That's between a king and a commoner. Melech and Yotze B'Shul. A king's not Yotze with partnership. Yet a commoner is Yotze. This is why also one of the prior greats who wrote, so he writes Sefer Torah into a shul shatia shel hekdesh beis hakneses, which belonged to the consecrated entity of the shul Inc. INC period. He was not Yotze, which is a shocking thing. The Torah is Chaim Sanhedrin. Besides that, the Yotze B'Shul is going to Yotze B'Shul. Lama lo Yotze Yechoso, who Hagam lo yesh chelik. Why should we Yotze also in Sefer Torah of the shul, which you have a chelik? And he says, or Kirego says, you Yotze. and Lubavitch, when they have the mitzvah to write Sefer Torah. So my uncle Ezra, Rabbi Ezra Shachat Shlita, said that writes about that there's a halacha lay based in Masna and Sefer Torah, and each person who gives an ois in Sefer Torah lay based in Masna that he's yotzei. I think he writes this, if I recall correctly. So I have to look it up. He said to Mr. Ksiva Sefer Torah through lay based in Masna. And another proof is that even if those your forefathers say Shato Kula Shalo, even though it's all completely yours, obviously not according to Russian Torah, which you just learned, a coach can be certainly not it's a partnership. But that's why she mitzvah ne'atzel v'alei shegenu. According to Rambam, it's independent mitzvah. That's certainly true. I'll tell you that's a Rosh Torah mitzvah raknei limud. According to Rosh Torah, the mitzvah is only a kind of learning. Actually, you could say she ain't to start with Torah achas. The two people can be to one same Torah. They're both learning. That's the case. I forget who was involved in it. I think it was yesterday. Kissin was talking about it. I remember where the two people learned the same Torah and they looked it up. So, the shift was not such a good thing for learning. So the says the primary law is not used in partnership. That which the Derech Olam is a chabur right Sefer Torah mitzvah schus b'halma. It's only mitzvah and a merit. However, labish is yotzi chavas mitzvah. You're not yotzi mitzvah with that. Okay, strong terms. And the bracket says Russia mitzvah mei limud nira v'adei nashim turos. Okay, so it's back when he wrote to talk about yesterday. It says women, if the mitzvah specifically you have account of learning, so women would be parts from the mitzvah kisel kavashir azos. You're based. If you imagine because of Kasam Shem Akam Daily, based on what you wrote, the name was learned because of state term. So basically, it's loyal to the Chavasa. If you gave the word same term, you gave it to a shul, you're not yet. Say male do I think because the same term in Nevda. If you also true, the word same term got lost or neither was stolen. Chayv the got to write another one. I've become a chokum with some people argue it's really the right interestingly. The came which class upon Machas. Once you wrote one time, I feel Masala Tzibur, even gave the Tzibur, but I feel Nevda, then you got lost. You have to Chavasa because the time you wrote it. Actually, Shabbat was yours. That's the Pesach Tshuva name of the Bnei Yoina and the part that's done in the Korban, the sign in the Torah, it's the sign of our Torah. So say for actually happened. Bellini read this at Tali, Gan came a day or so about that's all to me. It's contingent on the different opinions we mentioned. The Rambam Yotzi they go about. Because Rambam you would say. Because they do learning. Have a rush for the Ikar mitzvah. And they have limud, so the primary mitzvah is a kind of learning. By the Yotzi, I can be Yotzi. They can mama. If you didn't answer, I can order it. It's not by him. According to the Rush, the Rush, the primary mitzvah is the Chumash and Mishnah Gemara, Kisavan, or Knana, if you bought them, or if you wrote them or bought them, and they were stolen for you, or some I behave to the masses, because the Chank Doshim of them, you have to buy other ones, no one's learning. So it will come out also if you wrote Chidush Torah, and they got lost, you have to write more Chidush Torah. You give a Yesh Mishak Dodim Shekasa, those who wrote the Yachal Liot, between mitzvahs, who perhaps they would put in this mitzvah, I don't know, it's not right to properly anyway. You don't know which we're supposed to have extra above, which less above, etc. I'm here with Kedushin. Like when Rabbanan Chayvim, so our mitzvah was really best Rabbanan. That's the Shagas Hari. But anytime I mode, I'm astonished at this very much. Rambam, Chol, HaPoiskim, Heviu Din Zeh Moshe Din Torah. They all bring this halacha as if it's Bizana Zeh Din Doraisa. Furthermore, the Inkain Ilchon from the comments is she is when Sveikus Rabbos. That's an example from any mitzvah. Many mitzvahs share Sveikus. Come on, mitzvahs fill. It's mitzvahs fill. Chayitzim say. Providing the Achari Rabbi Mahatos you must follow the majority. But halacha Kenu and halacha is like this: that even though there's Sveikus, you still have to do it. But Achanami is Chavos Farim Rabbi and Masores B'Chosam Yesem B'Kriyuk Tzibah Achari Rabbi Mahatos. And since there's so many sforim on the topic, and they came up with conclusions, that's you have to do it. Follow the majority. Go right, bring my other part of the so it's clear evidence for that, which is because the man said the Yivshad, something the other. According to opinion shows you can't be precise in human matters. Fascinating, fascinating use of that Gemara, I must say. I say it's fascinating. Man said the Yivshad, something the other. Echtiv Hashem Asos Arno Kem Memida Kach Lekach Yivshad something. How can the Torah say to make mitzvahs a precise measure, you can't make it precise. The Torah says do it. That's the best you can do it. Hashem's okay with that. So the same thing. Hashem said, you write according to your capacity, we'll be fine with it. The bracket says here, Kain Nireli Boho Ledina. This is not look. You die awesome because Sefer Torah, affiliation Sefer Torah. Now tell Sefer Torah, even if you have another Sefer Torah. So the Kain, the Bizayin of Sefer Torah, because the Bizayin of Sefer Torah. Chacham say, let Torah about Limka, them Sefer Torah, a person should not sell Sefer Torah, even though you no longer need that Sefer Torah. Yes, moreover, I feel Elo Mayochal, even as doesn't have a teeth, to mark a Sefer Torah, he sold Sefer Torah to get himself food. Ain't a Ruah Sim Brach He was not going to see him Sim and Brach out of this ever. Back when it's from Tab Barab, not that everybody's lying in famine and dying of hunger. So ain't a Chadavar, only maybe called Nefesh. Nothing stands maybe called Nefesh. Kabbalah means Shai Des Chak Bichol to the Torah Bet Staka. He can push himself and take by stock and get by. But if him ain't Bichol to L'Malam, Vagaboyim ain't Bichol to L'Malam B'chorat Sefer Torah. So the Gaboy can't say to him, oh, you want to take stock up for sell your Sefer Torah? That they can't say to him. Shafil Clay based on Shrisho ain't Mazakin Osel Kor, even your household implements and tools we don't make us up. And still take soccer. Kamosh Kasab nu Leo Simulation Gimel. Koshkin Sefer Torah is certainly just a Sefer Torah. Koshkin Yocha Bidochak Lichos Belit Staka. So if you can live without taking Staka. Leave Mechir Sefer Torah without taking Sefer Torah, even though it's rough. So he's got to do. And then he says that's the intent of Ramah. V'dai the Av Shalosh Shasu Rak the Eino Ruas in Bracha. In the language Shas is only you don't see some Bracha. Come a place can move from the place it's clear. The Isur Namika also so they say for Torah. And the bracket says here, "Vatasi no basic should himself bridge peg dollar and sham lokashakan the shem." Okay, whatever it is here, he says the end of the brackets. Oh, the Afi Lomashantino Isurika. Maybe not just if it's still safe, but it's still also to do so.